Thank you so much for just taking time at the end of a very dynamic conference. I am sitting today with Chief McGuire and Captain Emerson, is that right?
Yes, that's
From
correct.
the Los Angeles Airport Police Department. And I just got finished being one of their keynote speakers here in Los Angeles, and it was a phenomenal conference. The women were so full of energy. The speakers were just awe-inspiring. I wish I heard everybody, but the ones that I heard just really blew my mind. Okay, tell me a little bit about your duties here at the Los Angeles Airport, the second largest airport in the United States.
Right now I'm responsible for the Homeland Security and Intelligence section, and I've been in this position for 7 years. I have responsibility for 6 specialized units to include K9, Emergency Services Unit, which is our tactical team, the Intelligence Unit, Dignitary Protection, the Vulnerability Assessment and Analysis Unit, which is our compliance officers, and I'm probably missing, Emergency Operations and Planning Unit.
My goodness, that's a lot.
No,
And
mouthful.
yes, and then I heard you speak a little bit about your background. You had another lifetime of working for the FBI, I understand?
Yes, so I was an FBI agent for 23 years, and I retired and came here and I brought with me my experiences and my expertise of counterterrorism and counterintelligence to Los Angeles World Airport. That career was long and challenging, and at the time of my entry, and to put it in perspective of where women are in law enforcement, at the time of my entry into the FBI, for Afro-American females, I was only the 47th in position. There are now about 100, and they're down from 150 to about 140, maybe 135, but in 20, 30 years, the numbers have not exceeded that 150 mark, and so it really speaks to where women are in law enforcement and how it's been a battle to accelerate, but once you get to that level, the expectations are extremely high, and it's a very demanding and rewarding, I'd say, career for anyone who's looking at law enforcement moving forward.
Now I understand this conference today was the 3rd annual conference specifically addressing women's issues in law enforcement. Was this your brainchild?
Well, yes and no. I think we had a committee. About 4 or 5 years ago, I saw a need I love mentoring. That was my passion. I was a school teacher and one of my other careers before I even started the FBI. And I love mentoring young people. And so when I got here, because I had done it so often, and I did the same thing in the FBI, I started Black Female Special Agents Symposium, and we've had that running for 20 years now. This year was our 20th event for that. Even though I'm retired, I still stay in contact. But one of the things that I wanted to do was just show and demonstrate to the women here at the airport the multitude of careers that are accessible to other women, that other women, their careers, and some of the trials and tribulations that they go to in order to reach that invisible glass ceiling that's there.
Yes.
And so I wanted to make sure that they understand that even though we climb through the ranks, there are obstacles that we will face and that we have to overcome, and that we make a choice. Once we decide to excel to that next level, that is a choice, and through that choice, you are going to be met with opposition, and through opposition, you develop growth, expertise. Those experiences do not stop just because you left home today.
Yes.
Come to work.
Well, I think the theme that you had today of unity really speaks to the need for women to be empowered, to come together, to unify. In numbers, we have power. and we have a voice, and we have skills, we have talent, we have education, we have experiences. And it was so interesting to know, Assistant Chief, that you and I share a background of both coming from Compton. So good things do come out of Compton, California,
Absolutely,
don't they?
they do. And we're just 1 ounce of the examples.
Exactly.
There are a multitude more.
Exactly. And sitting next to you is Captain, could you pronounce your last?
Amerson.
Amerson. You know, both of you don't look like what you've been through or what you're going through. You don't look like the typical law enforcement profile. Tell me a little bit about what you do here, Captain.
I've been here for 25 years, and I've worked probably almost every section except Homeland Security, where Chief McGuire commands. I'm currently over traffic and security, and it is one of the largest sections of the Airport Police Department. I have the SACU officers, which is the Security Access Control Unit. That unit is responsible for basically being the gatekeepers to the airfield, which of course is one of the locations where we have to be very mindful of the regulations in order to ensure that we don't allow somebody to get in that area that's not supposed to be there or that wishes to do harm. The other section or unit that I'm responsible for is the Traffic Control Unit. And the Traffic Control Unit is the one that creates probably at this point the most challenge, because at LAX we are growing expeditiously, but we do not have any greater square footage in order to do those operations. So that means that we are pumping in more vehicles, more passengers, and of course that means a more challenging job, but it also means a more challenging opportunity for us in that unit. And I'm also over the motor officers. We have about 24 motor officers. That would include the supervisors as well, who patrol the areas and handle our traffic accidents in and around this area.
Now tell me your background. How did you get started in this field? I think when I was talking to you earlier off camera, you were saying that your degree is in law.
Yes, actually, I started my career here 25 years ago, so all of my young life, my shelf life here, this is the first law enforcement agency that I actually worked for. My background before that was actually as a school bus driver, so I've always had
A school bus driver.
So I've always had a thing sort of for kids and mentoring, and I do a lot of that through some nonprofit work that I do. But my work here in that 25 years, it's just really been something that was in my heart. It took a counselor in high school who saw that I did have the best grades actually to inspire me and figure out what it is that would motivate me, and we both thought that I would be a pretty good law enforcement officer. Turns out that once I achieved all of that and went back to look for her, she had passed away, but there's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't realize what the impact of another human being had on me at such a young age. I just only hate that it took so long for me to realize that. So my degree, though, I actually obtained while working here 6 days a week after 9/11. I went to law school and I briefed cases in the locker room. And I was a single parent at the time.
A single parent working 6 days a week. And what I love about both of you is that you are mentoring the community and you're mentoring other women. And even though you're moving forward, you're looking back and you're reaching back and helping others. And I think I understood, Captain, that you said not only are you working full-time here, but you're teaching classes, you have a nonprofit. It's just amazing how much you put on your plates, and you both look amazing.
We're a little tired right now from all this conference work.
Yeah, after the conference work. Tell me how you feel about the conference. How would you assess what happened today?
Today was awesome, and I say the same thing for every year. It has gotten better and better for us. It's more people, the speakers are even greater, and the opportunities that we have to make that connection that you talked about. You asked the question during your speech if we were connecting with you, if you had said anything that connected us. And you said many things that connected us, and you were very inspiring. And that inspiration, I think that we need that from time to time as human beings, but especially as women. You know, when the challenges of life hit you, you need that opportunity, as you say, to recalibrate. And things like this make that happen.
Yes, yes. I think it was a very powerful conference, and I just pray that the women felt empowered and go back to their jobs and their families, rethinking some of their choices and their attitude. As you closed, Captain McGuire, our attitude is so important, and we're multitasking, we're taking care of family, and at the same time, I'm sure there's some challenges because we need more women in your positions and to even go higher. And I know there are challenges and obstacles that you're dealing with that are real. And we want those numbers to grow, and we want women to be empowered. We bring so much compassion, intelligence, resilience, creativity, leadership. And we talked today about how, we laugh, we call bossy, but it's because we know we're the boss. We know how to make things happen. And to hear about all the things that you all are in charge of, your responsibilities, is just very, very impressive. And I wanted my audience to see two women in very non-traditional roles with their plates full, doing so much, very serious responsibilities. We see on the news all the time about terrorism and, delayed flights, and the growth of Los Angeles is exponential. It's just growing, as you said, Captain, in leaps and bounds. And how do you deal with that? Not to mention how you are dealing with inner conflicts, employee conflicts, personalities. What are you two doing as we close just to bring some balance for yourselves so that you're not burned out?
I'll speak on that. I like, for myself, I enjoy traveling. Mm-hmm. When I am feeling at that point where I've met my max for the day, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, I just like to get in the car and mm-hmm. drive and either have total silence mm-hmm. or to go back old school and just reminisce. Mm. I enjoy that. I enjoy reading. I enjoy just the vigors of life, and I just like that quiet time.
And now you have Jewel Diamond Taylor's books to read.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good thing. And I do want to add that your comments today were so inspirational, and I believe you touched everyone in this audience, men and women alike. And for me, it made perfectly good sense, everything that you said, that you were humble, you were honest, you were real. And sometimes we are measured by the words that come out of our mouth, and it's hard occasionally for men to hear women speak so honestly about how we feel. But I think it's important for them to understand that you can't see it or feel it the way I do.
Exactly. We talked about perception.
Yeah. It's like I learned at one of the conferences I went to before. You have blue glasses, I have blue lenses, I have pink lenses. And although we look at the exact same thing, we see it differently.
Exactly.
And that's one thing at home and in the workplace. You have to learn and you have to understand. And it filters over not just to men and women, but it filters over through generations, through age, through a different, socioeconomic, I guess, differences in people. But again, we all bleed the same red blood. And so that to me makes it more important and makes it humbles me that even the person on the street who has nothing is deserving of something. Yes. And that, if nothing else, if we need to teach that here at work and for our children, our grandchildren, we have to teach that going forward. And I'm just hoping that if I leave nothing else here at LAWA before I decide to leave or quit working for the last time, that I've made an impression on the people here and that I've treated everybody fairly with dignity and respect. And that's all I ask, and that's all I try to do. So.
Well, you both just radiate so much humbleness, professionalism, and heart. And I know that there are some real challenges and obstacles that you want to deal with and address as women in law enforcement. And I thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of that. I'll never understand all that you are dealing with. I know a lot of it is political, there's racism, there's perception of the community towards law enforcement. There are glass ceilings that you have to overcome, but I'm so glad that you gave me an opportunity just to be in this tribe today and just to experience all these women on many different levels that are in leadership, and women who are taking care of their families, women who are climbing the corporate ladder, women who are putting their lives on the line, women who are tapping in and activating their skills and very committed to what they do. And so I just wish you all the best. And I hope I'll see you again soon. I'm going to be planning a women's retreat specifically for women in law enforcement, because I really want you to have an opportunity to exhale and come together away from the workplace and really experience the unity that you are striving to have. And sometimes you have to have that away from the workplace and really get to know each other and explore those life challenges that we as women are dealing with, no matter what our walk in life is. So thank you so much, Captain and Chief. Boy, I get to talk to a chief and a captain. I'm just, oh, this is great. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.